I was just looking up some information about these players, but spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg now, instead of the previous color. We have DRG. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Protoss player. It is Data. Data? I'll stick with Data. Ay. Apollo Cosmos too. Yeah. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Much love. Much amore for Cosmos. Australia versus Creator is going to be a great match. Yes. From my understanding, they are mid-series. That PvP is mid-series at the moment, so we were unable to jump into or to dive into them. But I'm happy to just follow DRG for the time being, and then we'll be looking for another series after this to kind of see where we can land and see where we fall. For now, it's going to be a hatch gas pool opener from DRG. Very standard stuff, nothing too fancy. Meanwhile, across the map, we have Data going for a what looks to be gate expand. So very economic out of Data as well. And I'm unfamiliar with Data. I haven't been able to cast them before, so this is going to be my first introduction to them. From my understanding, they're more of an amateur player, but still here, still a regular. I have seen them on the bracket before, just haven't had the luxury of casting them. So I'm ready for it, ready to be introduced. Meanwhile, as we load into this map, this is regarded as one of the more macro standard maps in the map pool. There are certain features, of course. Maybe the biggest one is this. It's like a half rich base with a couple of gold patches, some gas geysers, but no rich gas, just gold patches here in the center base. And we have seen players try to sneak out with this base a little bit faster as a fourth or even a third base. Very unsuccessfully. We've seen a lot of players try to expand here, and none of them have been able to hold on to this base. It is very exposed. It's here on the low ground. It can be attacked from every single angle. It's a very vulnerable base. I'm a little bit surprised this base isn't just a gold. I'll be honest. Like, just make it just an entirely gold base, just because like it's so difficult to hold on to. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as time does progress, as DRG is going for an all-in. Doesn't even saturate his natural base. Very fast roach one. It was a hatch gas pool opener into a fast second gas geyser, and roaches are on the way from our Zerg player. Meanwhile, back at home, Data is getting into a Stargate opener. It is going to be spotted by this Ling. Ooh, unfortunate. Data did go for an Adept, and he will scout this. He sees. We need a Void Ray. We need a Void Ray, Papi. 2 more gateways are thrown down. We still have... There we go. We cancel the Phoenix, and we will start up a different unit instead. The roaches are waddling across the map as we speak. There is no saturation. There are very few drones. We are completely all in, and a Void Ray is on the way. But is it too late? The roaches and Ravagers, they're already falling upon us. The Void Ray still almost halfway done here for Data. Can he crank it out in time? We need it, Papi. We need it. Until then, we have a shield battery on the way. It's not done either. Biles are available, and this shield battery is not going to finish. The wall is not even a wall. Shield battery is targeted down. The Void Ray will arrive, though. The Void Ray is on the way, but this is going to depower the gateway. Denies Warp Gate. Warp Gate will not finish, and the Roach Ravager gets into the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. Roach Ravager not the best unit here against probes, so they will be surrounded. They will be cleaned up. The roaches are falling one after the other. Meanwhile, here, oh god, workers are falling in the natural base. We are flooding Lings behind this. No Ling speed, so slow Lings are coming across the map. Does DRG have enough to clean up this mineral line? I think he does. I do think he does. We have a couple of Stalkers coming out. 2 Stalkers here from Data. The boys are doing what they can, but GG gets called. It's too much damage, and DRG takes game number 1. GG. Again, Data just a little bit too slow to scout what was happening. A little bit, it took a little bit too long to recognize how committed DRG was. And eventually, of course, he reacted and he had like the Void Ray on the way and the shield battery on the wall. But again, too late. Unfortunately, it was just too late. Now we're getting into our next game. Again, DRG showing us that, hey, he is more than willing to get down and dirty with the best of them and be cheesy and go all in. I mean, we saw that against Kellizer, to be fair, but now we're even seeing that off of one base, essentially. As we are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Zerg player leading the series 1-0. It is DRG. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the French Protoss player. It is I am Data. Oh, and here we go. How the turns table. Data is angry. He's upset that he was all in, and now he's going to be going for a proxy of his own. Now, it's a little bit far out for a proxy. It's still more than halfway across the map, at least, so it's still on DRG's half the map, I should say. And how many gateways? This should be 4. No! No! He locked himself in! Oh! Not the best starts. I imagine it's going to be proxy 4 gates. There are 3 gateways, and we may as well throw down the 4th gateway here. Has been slowed down. It has been interrupted. No gases have been taken. This is going to be mass zealots, and there's the 4th gateway. So proxy 4 gate is going to be the all-in of choice. Did stumble out of the gates, but we can still pull this off. We can still execute this, I'm sure. Meanwhile, across the map, DRG is going for a hatch gas pool. Very standard opener from our Zerg player. Nothing too crazy. Very standard start here from our Zerg. The Overlord is going to be moving out. And will DRG... Actually, he will see this. He is going up to the pillar. And that should be far enough to spot the Zealots. I'm curious. Curious what will be seen and what won't be seen by this Overlord. Here we go. The Zealots are on the way. They're being chronoed out 4 at a time. And, oh, DRG, he doesn't go all the way. He pulls back. He does pull back, so he won't see this until the Zealots reveal themselves. Meanwhile, DRG, he sees the lack of wall. He throws down a Roach Warren immediately. He knows that something is wrong, and there we go. The Zealots go into the natural. DRG pulls the boys into the main. He knows that he can afford to lose the natural base, and Data knows that as well. He can't settle for the natural. He has to go for the kill. Yo, he can get on top of this Roach Warren. Oh my. Alright, here we go. We're going to try to focus down the Roach Warren. The Lings are going to be dancing with these Zealots, though. Oh, and already the shields have gone down. Additional Zealots have arrived, but the Roach Warren finishes. 4 Roaches are in production. The Roach Warren will be targeted. Another Queen comes in from the natural base. The Roach Warren goes down, but we still have 4 Roaches in production. And more Lings on the way as well. Those Roaches, they can kite for days. That's the problem. These are slow lots. They can't keep up with the Roaches, Papi. They're just... What can they do? What can they do? As, yeah, everything's gonna get cleaned up. 4 Roaches is all you need. A Queen goes down, but the Zealots get cleaned up, and GG gets called. Good luck in the next round as DRG takes the series 2-0. GG. Congratulations. Again, I appreciate that Data tried to turn the tables on DRG, but alas, did kind of stumble out the gate initially. And again, it was a good reaction, a good scout from DRG, able to confirm the all-in, able to throw down a Roach Warren immediately, and despite the fact that it went down, a couple of Roaches should never die against those Zealots, because they are slow lots, again, so we can just kite for as long as we can. As long as we're on creep, as long as we have terrain to maneuver around, we can pull that off. So again, very well done from our Zerg player, and they will advance on into the next round. And now we can take a moment to try to catch up on everything that's been going on and try to figure out where we want to go next.